your podcasts don't sound good. You know, maybe this one sounds fine, but the one before it wasn't that good, or the next one's not going to sound as good, and it's because you don't understand how to match the loudness from show to show or episode to episode. And on top of that, your music is not very good. Now, if you created it, that's not what I mean. If you worked really hard on composing that, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the selection for the tone of your podcast doesn't make much sense. If you're doing a podcast that's about rowboats, we don't need metal music for it. You don't even need country music for it. You just need light music for it. So now, I'm not the end-all be-all on what you should be doing for your rowboat podcast, but I am telling you that matching the tone of the music to the tone of the show goes a long way. And if you've got a 45-minute episode of your podcast, do not have a looped music bed for 45 minutes that doesn't change. Why are you doing that? Tell me right now. Listen, okay, I'm being too rough on you. As much thought as you put into your idea for your podcast, put that same level of energy into making it sound great. The number one reason why people don't continually listen to each episode of your podcast, it sounds bad. The idea and the content might be there, but if the sound quality is not good or not consistent, people will start to check out. Make sure you know where you're posting your podcast to, because Spotify and YouTube and all the different podcasting places, they have different set levels of loudness. You need to know what you're posting yours to so you can set yours. A general rule of thumb that works very well for most podcasts that are recorded in a stereo channel, -16 LUFS works great, because then if it goes on Spotify, which I think at the time of this video is -14, it jacks up the volume just a little with plenty of headroom. You're not over compressing. You won't sound bad. But if you start out with a podcast that's at like -9 LUFS or something outrageously loud, once it hits Spotify, it's going to reduce the volume and it's just going to sound bad. That's why you need to take extra special care and make sure that your podcast from show to show sounds consistent. And the last thing I'm going to say, and this is mostly for the younger people, screaming super loud into your microphone isn't funny. It doesn't sound good. It sounds terrible, and it makes people turn off your show. Bottom line, learn how to use a mic. Please forgive me for having my hat backwards.